whoever doesn't go up out of Toulouse, Toronto, and London as the full-time kind of representation, along with the Bradford Bulls next year, because they'd go up, wouldn't they, in this new structure?
And then
you can't even sit on the fence about it and kind of.
No. If it gets signed off, it'll get. We'll be going up, and obviously there's potentially, without wanting to write their obituary, you've also got Widnes potentially.
Yes, of course.
Potentially in that conversation as well. So. Not that I'm writing them off or anything, but they would be the worst. They'd be the most likely candidate. So it would be you'd think it'd be a decent competition in terms of the division. I guess again, but you're trying to make a decision on an incomplete picture, aren't you? So you're asked to sign off on something without knowing what the potential promotion out of that division is, or indeed the relegation back out of that division is. So I don't know if you can make that decision without knowing, is it going to be one team up, two teams up, or no teams up?
It's half-baked, isn't it? Let's
yeah,
put it that way.
It feels
like way too late into the season. I mean...
ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. I think the idea that isn't a bad one, like you say. I think the league could function that way at that level. I think it probably leads to an opportunity for a more competitive league in League One for some of the southern-based clubs and that sort of thing, but it's not. It's just moving the deck chairs around. It's not actually fixing any of the problems at this stage. It's kind of trying to pacify some people, but we don't know enough about the long-term situation. It would be better to just even go Assis. I don't know if going Assis is right. Assis in terms of the makeup of the leagues, maybe not in terms of the structure of the fixtures and the way promotion and relegation is decided, because so many people now have bought out of the Super 8s that to have it going on for another season is just kind of a bit of a lame duck kind of system. It is wrong, but then what else? I don't know. It just seems so hard to come up with a solution, but it doesn't feel like just throwing something out there right at this stage is the solution. So strange one.
No, well, they've certainly made it a lame duck by announcing its death now, haven't they?
Yeah.
So it certainly gives grist to the mill for your conspiracy theorists out there. But I guess we'll wait to see. I mean, we might find out by the end of the. By the end of the grand final, you never know. You might find out what's happening. So,
we'll see. Hopefully we will. Okay. Also in League One, another club that's going to be taking a slight backward step for next season. So again, builds to the competitiveness of that division next year, possibly. Even though they've got more of a chance of going up now, it's Whitehaven. Coach Carl Forster will depart them at the end of the season due to the club's ongoing financial issues. It has been well documented in recent months that the old Cumbrian side have been struggling to pay players and staff. And as a result, Haven's financial situation, the player Coach Forster will now leave the club at the end of the season. So that's interesting. Do we think he might end up at Rochdale next year?
Well, I guess it depends. It all depends on where these cards lay at the end of the season, and who's got a pot of money to spend and who hasn't. So I guess we'll see.
I mean, he's only in his late 20s. He's still playing. He could still just play and not coach, but he was coach of the year last year down at that level. He's done a wonderful job. So someone will be after him in any case. And finally, the Sydney Roosters forward Frank-Paul Nuasala will hang up his boots at the end of the season. The 31-year-old made his NRL debut with the Roosters in 2007 and spent 8 seasons there before joining Canberra Raiders, where he played 31 games. Nuasala made the switch to Super League in 2016, with Wigan Warriors playing 47 games in the Cherry and White. He was part of Wigan's squad that won the Super League Grand Final in 2016 and the World Club Challenge in 2017, and you could argue that he basically retired at the start of the season when he cried off back home. He's ended his Super League career with a 100% tackle success rate this season, though, so credit to him for that. That's what 40 minutes at Salford at the start of the year gets you. There you go. That's the news. Okay, we will now move on to look forward to the future of Rugby League with our preview and predictions section. preview and predictions time now in association with Love Rugby League. Head to loverugbyleague.com for all the latest news, gossip, opinion pieces and even more stats on the greatest game. And obviously there was loads of post-match coverage of the Challenge Cup final this weekend for you to read through on there as well. So some good coverage going on across the board. And we start with round 3 of the Super League Super 8s this week, Alan. Thursday night, Warrington can see if they can get up off the floor after that defeat in the Challenge Cup final. They're hosting Hull FC, 7:45 p.m. kickoff on Sky Sports. Where do you see this game going? Who do you see winning this game?
I think this is a really tricky one to pick. Warrington will want to bounce back, but Hull need to do something. Something in the Super 8s. Give their fans something to think about. I'm just going to go with home field advantage, even though they've played. Hull have had the week off. But I'll say Warrington, but not by much. Let's say Warrington by 2. What say you?
By 2. I'm struggling to pick this one as well, to be honest. It's really difficult because Warrington are really going to be down on the floor after that one. I think they're going to be feeling pretty sore with themselves. They didn't show the best of themselves, which they're going to be upset about. I think though the problem I've got is Hull have just been so garbage of late.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Neither of these teams makes a convincing argument to say they're going to win this one. But I just went for Warrington on the basis that they need to show themselves up in the top 4, and that's probably the only thing.
I think they've got a better set of players to pick from and a set of players who'll sort themselves out. I think probably just about long enough for them to get over some of the fatigue. I reckon the home fans will still be appreciative of their efforts, and that might help them. As long as they don't go behind early, I think they'll probably take a bit of a lead and then cling on. I'm going to go 16-10 in favour of Warrington, with Hull probably scoring all their 10 points towards the back end of the game. That's the way I see maybe it going. I just struggle to see the class in the Hull side at the moment, but it's a good opportunity for them to show us all wrong, who've been writing them off now at this stage as kind of the also-rans in the Super League table. Okay, Friday night sees Huddersfield play Wakefield. 7:45 p.m. kick off this one over at the John Smiths. I kind of think Wakefield are a queue on the rack kind of situation at the moment. I think they're starting to let their injured players duck out for getting some sort of treatment or recuperation and those sorts of things at this stage. I think they're not really going to be pushing anyone to play who isn't physically ready to really at this stage, because there's not a ton of chance of them making the top 4. And on that basis, combined with Huddersfield being the form side who really have got something to chase and have got some sort of unity going on at the moment, some sort of team spirit that's really impressive, I'm going to go Huddersfield. I'm going to go Huddersfield fairly convincingly. I've got them winning 30 points to 10. What about you?
Can't disagree with that. Huddersfield have got something to really push for. Still, they're going to see Warrington as a bit of a wounded animal, and they can probably chase them down, or think they can chase them down. As you say, Wakefield are already on holiday in many ways. So Huddersfield for me by 16.
Fair enough. Okay. Friday night Sky game, also 7:45 kickoff. It's St Helens hosting Wigan, so it's 1 versus 2, and they've barely got a murmur at the moment in time, which is reasonable that all the attention should be on Catalan Dragons, but all the attention is also on lots of other things at the moment, maybe more negative stories. But it's 1v2. It's Wigan versus Saints. It's the true derby, the Lord Derby derby. So how do you think this one's going to go, Alan?
Okay, so it's a tricky one. I'm going to go with your Wigan Warriors, only because if they're going to have any chance to close up, it's an absolute no-brainer, must win. Last chance saloon type situation to finish anywhere near top and get a bit of form back. So I'm I'm just going to pick your boys just to squeak it out, because St Helens are still not doing anything of any. They're still in a bit of a slump. So
yeah.
we can buy a point. Let's go for a drop goal win.
Well, I've also got us kicking a drop goal, but it's to make it a 7-point margin. There is a couple of injury problems for Wigan. Obviously, Liam Marshall has been fantastic again this year. He will be out now with his knee injury, and that gives Dom Manfredi, who's returning from his knee injury, an opportunity. I understand Wigan are probably going to line up with Manfredi on the right wing, where the place he vacated before when he got injured over 2 years ago now, away at Cass. And Tom Davies will move over to the left wing, so for all the hard work and the 150 odd metres a game he's been putting in, he might actually get some tries as well out on the golden edge. Oliver Gildart will be coming back in for Wigan as well, so that'll boost that position there. Maybe there's some injury concerns over Dan Sargentson, so it's going to be a different looking back line, but certainly still with some quality in for the Wigan side. So I think we're going to. I think Saints aren't in great form at the moment. Wayne won't want to lose his last derby at Totally Wicked, whatever it's called nowadays, Langtree Park, Totally Wicked, St Helens' stadium, and it's very likely to be that. I can't see Wigan dropping to 4th in the table at this stage. I hope they don't drop to 4th in the table at this stage of the season. So probably an away semi-final is looking unlikely. I think he'll want to make sure as well that Saints don't steal the league leaders shield against Wigan, so we'll see if that plays a part in it. I'm going Wigan 25-18.
Okie dokie.
Final game of the Super 8s then. This is played on Saturday. It gives Catalan a little bit of time to recover, but I can't imagine there'll be too many players who'll be putting their hand up to play this one after a week of partying, so it'll be interesting to see what side the Catalan Dragons put out. I will preface our predictions with saying the last 5 Challenge Cup winners have lost in the game following the Challenge Cup final. And then let you tell me how many you think Cass are going to win by, Alan.
Yeah, Catalan, job done. On their holidays, hungover, not bothered. Castleford still need to win. It's Cass all the way up at the up at Welford Road. So I would say, I can see this being a real, second, third team for Catalan. So I'd say Castleford by 20.
Yeah, I've got Cass 40 points to 4. I think they're going to put an absolute shellacking on. I think the person who scores the points for the Catalan Dragons might well be someone we've never even heard of. I think it's going to be that sort of situation. But yeah. Congratulations Catalan on winning a trophy and having a major historic fantastic season, and that's kind of where their journey comes to an end a little bit, I think, with all the celebrations. Okay, into the qualifiers, the all important qualifiers. It's round 3 there, of course, as well, and we start with 2 Super League sides. It's Leeds' first Super League opponent of the qualifiers, so it's a real test to see if these last 2 wins over the Championship sides have kind of got their cohesion back together, got a bit of positivity back going and confidence back going, to see what will happen. Leeds versus Hull Kingston Rovers, Sky, 3:15 Saturday afternoon. What do you think?
I think the confidence that Leeds have gained is probably just going to push them over the edge. As good as a result as Hull KR had last time out, I don't want to denigrate that. It was a good win. I'd say Leeds at home just enough, but not by masses. Leeds by 6, I would say.
I've got a draw. I've gone for a draw in this one.
Just to throw something in.
I just couldn't decide who I thought was going to win, so I thought, well, if that's the case, if I really can't decide, then I'll go for a draw. I've gone 26 points all. Leeds to cling on for a point, I would suggest. So that's where I've gone with that one. Be interesting to see, obviously it's a big game, and Danny Maguire going back to Headingley, because when they played earlier in the season, they played at Ellen Road, didn't they? So this will be Danny Maguire's first return to Headingley. So we'll see how that pans out. Saturday 5 p.m. over in France, Toulouse will be hosting the Widnes Vikings. It's an interesting one, this one. If Widnes don't win this one, that's them obviously doomed. You would think. You couldn't see them winning on the travels to Toronto or over Leeds or at that stage, so I'd say that's them doomed, and I do think we're going to see that come to fruition. I think Toulouse will rack up a few points. I've got 32 points to 20.